fighters drop out of fights. It's as plain and simple as that, and it's wrong for anybody to question anybody who drops out of a fight.
MMA needs fighters. However, not all of them turn up as expected. And some of them, well, what's the point?
I mean, what can you say? Like, you get a card planned, everything's going really well. Then you wake up one day, and disaster strikes. You know, I mean, some guys are pretty good at waiting. You know, especially now when you've got a lot of paperwork to fill out on shows and stuff like that. It's get difficult.
They don't affect me in the slightest. I mean, I just get a red corner and a blue corner, and as long as there's a fighter in each, I'll start the fight and referee it as and when.
Yeah, you know, I mean, pull-outs and stuff, unfortunately, it's part and parcel of combat sports.
There's a lot of like last-minute guys kind of stepping in, and whatever the motives are. For me, kind of the best like evolution of this has been the evolution of the Team Antonio's guys.
I thought you were going to say.
That's fair, isn't it? I mean, longest seen as like the whipping boys of the scene up in particular a lot of areas up in the north.
For me, that's almost not worth having that fight anymore. For the expenditure, I mean, I heard numbers thrown around, but I'm not going to say them, but you know, the expenditure that you're getting, that you're paying out to get a fighter like that, to just, who's going to give you 20 seconds of nothing, of backpedaling and getting punched.
Antonio's not fucking about now though. You saw like Katov the other month, do you know what I mean? Came in against a ticket seller and dropped him on his head.
He's got a new van, he brings them in.
Yeah. Actually legitimately flown in from Lithuania, Tottenham. Yeah. And like you've always got Kirby, haven't you? You've got Benias, you've got all those guys now, man. Yeah. They're not fucking around at all.
You know, I mean, look at the John Jones incident. You know, you can understand it from his point of view. He's a world champion. He doesn't want to lose that fight because he hasn't prepared for a specific fighter, and he comes from a camp that are famous for their game plans.
And unfortunately, some of the times these people do pull out. There has been some serial offenders over times in the UK, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a shitty end of the stick, you know. And I really do feel for the guys who have trained hard, genuinely trained hard, for guys to pull out with the dickest, lamest excuse going.
You know, if it's work, health or family, somebody shouldn't question that. It's a tough sport. People who drop out after they've weighed in, I'm not sure what they were expecting, to be honest. You know, they've turned up for a fight, they've got on the scales and gone, ooh, he's a bit scary. Of course he's a bit scary. He's just trying to knock your face off. You know, what do you expect? It's going to be scary. Maybe this isn't the sport for you. Maybe you need to go and do table tennis or synchronised swimming or something like that.
You've got your stuff like your no-shows and stuff on the day, and guys who just turn up and then feel like they don't want to have a fight anymore, things like that. You know, I think it's gone a few and far between now. It doesn't go on as much as what it used to in the past. You know, when a lot of people are in love with the idea of being a cage fighter, aren't they? Till they get there and they're like, oh, shit, is this really it?
Unfortunately, it happens. Pullouts, yes. Fighters that don't turn up, no excuse. I'm sorry, but no excuse. They should be named and shamed. Seriously, on the forums, everybody's too nice. It's like name and shame. You know, let everybody know these guys don't belong in the sport.
Are you doing another one on Journeyman at some point?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, okay, so I'll save all that till later on.
You know, I think you just need to stamp out this culture of, you know, just accepting bad fights. You know, things go wrong, yeah, and unless you can formulate a real plan, you know, and put a good fight on, then, you know, I'm all for, you know, letting it fall by the wayside and letting the guy fight another day. But I suppose it's all about looking after ticket sellers, and you know, I'd never be a promoter. That's one facet of the game that I don't want to put my hand in.
I think it is like the prick in me, maybe. There's something really funny, not funny, but there's something dead like satisfying, I think, about watching a ticket seller lose to an Antonio's guy. I think it's because like it's the underdog thing, isn't it? You always root for it. You always root for him, but like. The Weekend Journeyman Watch thing, which fans of Weekend Journeyman Watch on Twitter will notice, that includes the likes of Craig Allen, Nathan Thompson, some of my finest memories, really.
Broken shin. Disgusting. Horrible.
I've heard some of the most fucking borderline insane excuses ever for guys like what? Can you just say that again? Do you know what I mean? Just so I know that I haven't misheard them.
Second one, Craig Rutherford, sorry Craig, refused to tap on a Kimura, and his elbow went and his shoulder went, and it looked like something you would have bought from Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was disgusting, honestly. I was.
I mean, I think you've got two tiers of guys, haven't you? You've got the guys like the solid journeyman, you know, your sort of your Sean Lomas,
yeah.
I mean, people like Danny Welsh that have got legitimate tools,
yeah.
And then you've got people like Mark Purcell that are legitimate tools. No offence to Mike, you know. I mean, it's easy for me to say I'm not getting in there, but
53 though.
Third one would have been at Chris Clark's show. Again, a lad who wouldn't tap on a Kimura and his arm broke here. And I stopped the fight because I heard it snap. And he looked at me and went, "No, I'm fine, honestly." But the problem was he'd gone translucent. He wasn't even green. You could see right through the boy. And he said to me, "Do you think I'll be able to go to work on Monday?" And he was a professional karate instructor, which was quite amusing.
I mean, like I said, there has been some guys who have made a career out of pulling out, but they're still being matched. Why?
yeah, I mean, some of it that just annoys me is when people say, "Oh, I'm doing it because, you know, oh, my opponent's had a hard training camp and I want to help out the fans." And you're doing it to pay some money for your kids, man. You're doing it to pay your bills.
Yeah.
You're doing it, which, you know, I've got respect for. Like I say, I'm not getting in there, so I can't knock it. But some of it, yeah.
You get all this craziness. I mean, but pullouts are a part of the sport. It's just something you've got to deal with, and it's frustrating, but you know, that's the game.